that is one symptom, is spotting, uterine bleeding. That could be a sign that your estradiol level is too high.
Your dose is too high if you're having consistent, erratic, or irregular consistent bleeding.
What symptoms mean my estradiol dose is too high? Hi, I'm Dr. Valorie Davidson from the Progress Your Health podcast.
And I'm Dr. Maki from the Progress Health podcast. So as you already mentioned, so today we're going to talk about how to know when your estradiol dose is too much.
Exactly. So a lot of women will talk about, dosing. Maybe you do labs, maybe you don't. But what symptoms, physically or emotionally, can you find that would show that your estradiol dose would be too high?
Yeah, I can tell right now, once we get into this episode, there's a paradox there when you're talking about, the dose being too high or too low. And sometimes it can be a little challenging. Now, sometimes it's very obvious. We'll talk about what some of those are. But the subtlety of HRT, it can also be a little bit confusing to know if it's too much or not.
Well, I think it also has to do with your progesterone dose too. So you have your estradiol dose, or your bias with estriol and estradiol, and then you got your progesterone, which we'll do the next podcast we'll do on if your progesterone dose is too high. But definitely if the estradiol is too high, you're going to have some breast tenderness. Like that's probably classic. I'm sure a lot of you already know that there's going to be breast fullness, there's going to be breast tenderness. Sometimes there can be almost like even little lumpies, because if your estrogen's a little too high, it can actually aggravate women that have a tendency towards fibrocystic breast conditions.
Yeah, and usually those things, if you're new to HRT, especially on the estrogen side, you might have that for a little bit and then it usually goes away.
So her body can get used to it. I even backed it off a little bit, so we're going to kind of titrate up a little bit slower because some women are way more sensitive to the estrogen.
And it's pretty remarkable when you look at the different types of dosing and how different women are. Like there is not one dose, one form, one anything that fits all women. There is as many responses as there are dosings in some respects. So you can't really go based on what the standard prescriptions are available are.
Yeah, you definitely have to tailor it to the patient because everybody's different and there's never going to be a forever dose. Like this is my perfect forever dose. Life just doesn't work that way. Same with the breast tenderness. Some women are more susceptible and some are, but it definitely is a key. Is if you're having breast tenderness that continues, your estradiol dose is probably a little bit too high, or you need to do some things to help bring down those estrogen metabolites. One other thing that I find that's interesting when the estradiol level is too high is headaches. But, which we'll do another podcast on this in the future, you can get headaches from having your estradiol or your estrogen level too high. You can also get headaches if it's too low.
Yep.
So you want to find that right happy medium. So if you're having having the headaches, you want to pair that with the other symptoms you're having. But I'm sure you're probably aware of headaches and estradiol levels. And then did you know that your estradiol level, if it's too high, it can make you moody? I'm sure you all know that, right? But it is true. If your estrogen levels are too high, so you're on HRT and you're finding yourself more weepy, more emotional, more irritable, it can actually be because of that estradiol, because estradiol has a huge impact on your neurotransmitters in your brain. It can have an effect on serotonin, on dopamine. It can actually raise up your glutamate, which can make you a little irritable. So that's kind of like the Goldilocks paradox with the estradiol is you don't want it too hot, but you don't want it too cold. You want it just right.
Yeah. And that's very subjective. Like there isn't a blood number that you can determine what that number is. Which makes it for the mood. I mean, a lot of those symptoms in general, like some of those numbers, you sort of have to see where they end up in a lot of cases. So what else besides headaches, besides
the breast tenderness,
what else?
Moodiness is fluid retention. So you'll see that when that estrogen level is up and even some of the changes and fluctuations of estrogen. If you're doing a rhythmic dosing, you can notice some of the fluid changes, but not so much. I mean, sure, there's going to be like some breast tenderness, maybe some breast fullness from the water retention in the breast tissue, but you can also get it in the hips and the thighs and the stomach. You can get that water retention. Estradiol doesn't directly cause weight gain, but I do feel like, you can have that water retention. And then speaking of weight gain is sometimes when that estrogen's elevated, you can get more munchy, like, munchy, or I'm not full, or I'm full, but I want to still keep eating. So it can increase up your appetite if it's a little too high, which that could increase up, weight gain. And I wish it was that simple of, oh, my estrogen's too high, so I'm gaining weight. It really has to do with the other hormones too, like you had mentioned about cortisol, your androgens, testosterone, your progesterone. But I have had some women where they go on the estrogen, and then when I see them again, they're like, wow, I lost 12 pounds. I feel fantastic. Is that because they're sleeping better? Because they don't have hot flashes? Because their brain fog is gone? Maybe their motivation is better. And then I've had other women that have gone on some, estradiol levels and they were too high, or they come see me because they were put on some kind of estradiol and said, oh my gosh, I put on 20 pounds in, a little over a month. Is this because of the estradiol? And some women are susceptible to that. So you have to take that into consideration. Because I will say, and since working, with women with HRT since 2004, that I have run across quite a few women that gain weight on estrogen. So that's why if you're going to do the static dosing, I really like the biased where you have the estriol and the estradiol. And I don't even sometimes do these ratios that, you can do ratios, but I'll even individually, based on someone's symptoms and their labs, determine what dose of estradiol they should have to the estriol, or what dose of estriol to the estradiol, so you can find that balance there. I have some women on very low doses of estrogen because that's what they can tolerate, or they might be, I have some women on quite a good level of estrogen because they feel really good. So it does come down to the individual, but I will say one symptom of your estradiol being too high could be weight gain and water retention. And I will say, I probably should have said this, number one is if you have a uterus and you're doing HRT that has estradiol in it, if you're bleeding, especially if you're doing static dosing, if you're bleeding or having spotting, that means that endometrial lining has gotten too thick, and that's because that estradiol level could be too high. Now, could be also that the progesterone needs to be balanced out, where the progesterone might be too low. But we'll talk about progesterone in a different podcast. But that is one symptom, is spotting, uterine bleeding. That could be a sign that your estradiol level is too high.
Yeah. But that, that sort of tells you right away if your dose is too high, if you're having consistent, erratic, or irregular consistent bleeding. Any woman that starts HRT, okay, as the practitioner, you may expect there might be a little bit of that early on. Let's say they're newly into menopause, you put them on some estrogen, and they might get a little bit of spotting right away, whether that was a remnant of their old period or it was as a result of the HRT. But it shouldn't be an ongoing issue. It shouldn't continue. Usually the body's going to acclimate, it's going to change, and then the bleeding should sort of stop. And if it doesn't, then you got to make some adjustments. So you said breast tenderness, weight gain, certainly bleeding or spotting.
Headaches?
Definitely headaches or migraines. I would put that on the list for sure. Honestly, those are probably the big ones. And based on the timing of what they're using or how much they're using and for how long. So there's quite a few factors that go into determining is this just from your prescription or is this from something else? And
I feel like the moodiness kind of gets skipped over a lot when you're talking about estradiol levels. Like people are thinking, oh, my estrogen is too low, brain fog, which sure, estradiol levels are low. You can have a lot of brain fog, but when it's high, you can be moody. And that's where people, one day you might feel a little teary, or something that normally wouldn't tear you up would tear you up. Or you could be even overstimulated because that glutamate is too high and you're feeling overwhelmed, or your bandwidth is at its length. Like you can have that. You can have the irritability. You can even have, even some anxiety, because estrogen can be stimulating. So you can even have that. So you can have all of that. Now, granted, when I'm talking to a patient about their mood, there's so many other contexts to it. Family members might be ill. There might be a situation going on, or it's tax season or something. No. So of course there's all those factors that can influence your mood. But I feel like when that estradiol level is too high, it can just almost shorten that bandwidth where you just can get irritated, overwhelmed, anxious, and upset and weepy really a lot quicker than if it were in that right level. So I always talk to a woman when we're doing HRT, regardless of their labs, is what is your mood like?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, HRT really is supposed to increase a woman's bandwidth, give her more tolerance to the stressors around her, not sort of make it, worse, right? It's supposed to give her more a resilience to those things, Because if you think about it, when a woman's, finally in menopause, she's usually probably has lots of things on her plate. So she has lots of things to be doing. She shouldn't have time to, be dealing with that. It's part of one of the reasons why women go on HRT in the first place. So that definitely gives you a red flag, whether if the dose is too much, if her ability to cope has actually gotten worse as opposed to better.
Which kind of swings back with estradiol and libido. Like estradiol is really good for sex drive. I know people talk about testosterone. Testosterone can be helpful for libido, but the estradiol level is, for a female, that's really great for libido. But if your estradiol level is too high, it'd be awesome if, my libido is really high. It doesn't really work that way. If anything, if your estradiol level is too high, you're going to feel moody, and that's going to do nothing for your libido. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I've had blood tests come in, and they'll be, like this one patient recently, her estradiol level was in the 200s, and she had been saying, I'm feeling just really emotional. She had been spotting, right? She had been bleeding. I'm feeling emotional, weepy, and just not like my usual self. And she ran some blood work, and it was like 208 and I'm like, yeah, that's because your estrogen's high. And I've had other women too, where I'll have a blood test and we'll have an appointment, and I'll say, feeling a little moody because your estradiol level is 168. And they'll say, yeah, I have, even if they're not spotting, or maybe they don't have a uterus. So I feel like that's a big context. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast is I love estradiol. Estradiol's awesome. It's like, it's the cake. It's like everything else is just accoutrements or the frosting, like testosterone and DHEA. But estradiol is like the main hormone for females. But sometimes too much of a good thing isn't a good thing. So that's why I wanted to do this podcast.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Now, granted, like you said, some of those numbers, obviously the number's too high if they're having some spotting. But just looking at the number itself can be a little bit ambiguous sometimes.
And their levels are really high. And I'll say, they must have just put it on and went and got their blood drawn. Right. And then I ask them, and they say, yes, they did. And that's where those symptoms come in. So sure, we want to see that objective data. I'll say, yeah, you're definitely absorbing it, but this level probably is not reflecting your true estradiol level because you just put on your cream and you just ran down to the lab and got your blood drawn. So you need to pair that all together.
The subtleties and the nuances that go into managing someone's HRT over time. None of it's an exact science. I mean, it's all sort of, definitely an art and a person by person scenario. Because everyone's going to respond to whatever hormone they're using. They're going to respond a little bit differently. So what you're saying, it does come down to both the physical symptoms, right? So like I said, a little bit of breast tenderness, their emotional stability, whether they're bleeding or not. Those are all would be sort of classic indicators that their estrogen dose is too much.
Sometimes when it's a little high, you can have a bit of a histamine reaction, which can be part of that bloating or that puffiness. Some women can feel like their skin is a little itchy or their nipples are itchy because that's a little bit of a histamine reaction coming from the estradiol level being too high. So I've seen that. I wouldn't say I think only one person I can think of out of 20 plus years of practice that the estradiol level being too high caused breakouts. You don't necessarily see the pimples from high estradiol levels. Right. Sure, estrogen does help with your skin and that moistness and the lipid membrane, so it might cause a little congestion perhaps, but it wouldn't cause acne. That'd be more with the androgens, but it can cause a little bit of a histamine reaction in certain individuals that are susceptible to it. That'll be our next podcast. We're going to talk about progesterone levels being too high, and we'll probably circle back to different levels of the estradiol and the progesterone, but I definitely wanted to do this podcast because I do like, hey, let's take some more estradiol. But like I said, too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing.
Yeah. Until next time, I'm Dr. Maki.
And I'm Dr. Valorie.
Take care. Bye-bye.